Okay, welcome to Taking Action. This is Anthony Conover. I'm Chris Colombo. We'll be back with you in a moment. Welcome back to Taking Action. In case you missed the intro, I'm Chris Colombo, and this is Anthony Conover. I did it in reverse.
Look at that. Hello. Howdy.
I'm in a very, very good mood today.
Can't blame you.
Do you know why?
I think I have a reasoning for that.
Oh, let me hear you.
That'd be that beautiful two-team underdog moneyline parlay hitting over this wild card weekend.
Second one. We lost one with 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But not only that, we're winning for the season.
We certainly are.
Okay, wasn't a great season, but I told you I have never, ever had a losing season, and I didn't want to start this year.
No.
I'm sorry for those that were behind that didn't stick with us. The people watching the show that are on the Juice Reel really have no complaints. I went 15 out of 15, 2 out of 3 last week for them. I'm averaging 7 wins a week for them. With the most losses is 4 with a 7 win, right?
We've had some weeks.
That's a lot of weeks. So we're doing what we're supposed to do. Okay. I'm still upset about the Cowboy.
Can't even talk about it.
Two-team dog parlay.
Can't believe you keep bringing it up. It's like
I'm going to tell you why.
Flashbacks, Vietnam.
No, not that. Add it to a T. How does the second time in history that something happens in the NFL happen to us? All right. I think we should go over last week's recap.
I think we should.
Just so you know, our main pick, which was my main pick, which I put in first, was I think the 2-team dog parlay, right?
Yeah.
It went outright, no points, money line.
Money line.
And even though the Juice Reel shows losing, they show individually because they count 3 teams and 2 teams as individual. But units is money, and
we're up on units.
We're up on units. So it was looking a little bleak. I had you stuck for a while. I'm not reading comments. I'm not paying attention to anything but winning. Got in my head. Matter of fact, I picked Minnesota this week, but my original pick was Rams. But somebody gave me the stats on Donald. Wonder what that was. We got to talk to him.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So anyway, moving forward with that, remember in the playoffs, it doesn't matter what people did during the year. It's a whole new set of rules. And I always go with best quarterback and best coach. Usually works out the best. I felt Stafford was a better quarterback, and I felt that coach is a better coach for the Rams, without a doubt. Anthony talked me into, well, not Anthony. Who was that guy? I don't know who it was. Started throwing stats for during the year at me, and I bent. I'm not bending anymore. But anyway, moving forward, I've done this a lot more years. I was handicapping playoff games when you were in your, not even a thought in your parents' mind.
Like,
matter of fact, true. I think your parents would have thought that. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that old. But this week is a rough week. Last week, for the ladies and gentlemen that follow us on YouTube, I was 2 out of 3. The Juice Reel was what? So it was almost 6-1. So that's 12 units they would have gotten because we started out at 1, and I doubled up, and we doubled down, and we did good.
Yeah.
So you're ahead of money if you stayed with me.
Yeah.
Not tremendous, but a win is a win.
Win is a win is a win.
All right, and this was a tumultuous season. Just remember, in handicapping playoffs, it's a whole different beast. The money, because there's no superstar or bad guy. Everybody gets paid the same. by television contracts, not
Yep.
their contract that ends with their team. So you'll see a lot of guys rise up during that time because they feel equal and they want to show the world what they're made of. Okay, to get to the playoffs is a good thing. The way they do it, is another thing. Okay, you want to do last week's recap here?
Of course. We started off with the Chargers at the Texans. Obviously, one of the games that was in that beautiful parlay with the
And also, no me to interrupt you, also gave it to the YouTubers.
Yeah. Had the Texans in that one, and they did their thing very easily. 32-12. Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. He threw 3 interceptions the entire regular season. So to say the defense had a day is an understatement. But the Texans move on, and
I felt they had the better quarterback and the better coach.
yeah, I mean, and this kind of
I like Harbaugh.
Yeah, no, I mean, he 11-6 during the regular season. They technically had a better record than the Texans, but playoffs is a different animal, as we stated.
As I said.
And this game kind of set the trend for the weekend. Honestly, not the best games you're ever going to watch happen on this wild card weekend. And speaking of that, that would be the Steelers at the Ravens. The Ravens with a 28-14 victory in that one. Another shortcoming for the Steelers this year. Started off pretty hot, ended the season not very well, and then first round loss. To be fair, it is to the Ravens, though, who a lot of people, have potential of going to the Super Bowl. Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns. A good win for the Ravens in that one. They covered as well. I believe that spread ended at 9.5, so they cover on that. We move over to Sunday, finally. The Broncos at the Bills, another absolute blowout. Looked a little scary, maybe, for the Bills after like 2 possessions. Broncos went down, scored on their first one. Bills came back with a field goal, so maybe you got a little bit nervous. But after that, well, the Broncos did.
Bills.
Yeah, the Broncos did literally nothing for the rest of the game. Josh Allen does what he did. James Cook had a great game. Very important in the playoffs, to get your running game going, and 23 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown. I would certainly say the running game got going. Bills obviously cover in that one as well. We go over to the Packers at the Eagles. Eagles with the 22-10 victory in this one. And honestly, it didn't even really feel as close as that, even though it was a 12-point loss.
That wasn't close at all.
No. Another game, Saquon, 119 yards. The passing game for the Eagles wasn't really there. So, I mean, maybe if you're the Rams, you might even be a little nervous. The passing game didn't even work for the Eagles, and they still put up 22. Picked off Jordan Love 3 times. Defense played very, very well for the Eagles. So, shout out to them. It's going to be a fun game coming up. Sunday night, we finally got a good game. And a game that was also very important to us. Obviously, Saturday we knew leg 1 of the parlay was good, and it came down to Sunday night to make sure leg 2 was good, and the Commanders did it. 23-20, they get the win in that game. They were, like we said, the underdog in it.
There it is.
Well, you want to talk about, there it is. That, once again, couldn't make it easy on us, though. What was it, about a 32-yard field goal to win the game off the right upright and bounces in? Oh my God! I mean, I don't know what we did to kickers. I mean, I did say I was the leader of the kicker hater club, but like killing us here.
Well, I get an honorable mention.
So definitely made us a little nervous. But Commanders with the outright 23-20 win in that one. Send the Buccaneers on packing home. So they'll move on and secure our parlay, which was the most important part of that anyway.
As I said, there would be times with 2 money dogs in a parlay, which is the most dangerous bet to a bookmaker or a betting house there is. Trust me, I know. And matter of fact, when I did baseball, I only allowed 1 money dog in a 2 money situation parlay. Not lines, money dog, underdog. Because they would devastate you. They allow 2, but they rob us on things. So when the line is fairly acceptable, I go for it. I did it through 2. I did 2 3-teamers only for a single unit because the lines were right and there was a shot. But normally I don't do that, but we got the best of those lines. They screwed up a little bit, and that's what I look for first, the line to be off. Go ahead, Ian.
The last game was that Viking and the Ram game. Rams 27-9. Honestly, this looked a lot like the Lions versus the Vikings of the week before. A lot of blitzes. Sam Darnold got sacked 6 times. He was holding on to the ball too long. You read O'Connell's lips. The head coach of the Vikings. He's saying, "Why is he holding on to the ball still?"
Oh, you're the head coach. Why don't you ask him?
you would
or
think.
Tell him,
or I don't know, make the adjustment that happened to you all last week, and then you have a week to prepare for them to do it again.
Well. But the deciding factor is I like the Rams, and I should have put it in immediately. Anthony liked the stats, and he threw them at me, and he made a comment that made sense. They just didn't do it. So we're gonna take the Minnesota coach out of the thing. I thought the better quarterback was with the Rams, and the better coach was with the Rams. But you watch what Detroit did to
the Vikings.
The Vikings. You watch what they did to the Vikings, and you figure anywhere in the free world or the smart world that the Rams were going to follow suit like they did.
It's a copycat league.
Right, not just copycat. It worked against a powerhouse team with a great defense. And Anthony figured that I think he gave coaches too much credit. All right? And he said that he felt that they would make the adjustment. If he did, we might not be sitting here saying that was a loss. And thank God we did hit that was 12 units. Say it.
12 units.
Say it again.
Beautiful 12.
Okay.
Double sixes.
Those are the things that make part of this game enjoyable. Okay. And that's why the reason there was times that I put a couple more bets, but that's my safety valve. And when it's there, I go for the jugular. And I can't understand why Minnesota didn't. I should have stayed with the Rams next year, next season, what I like. And believe me when I tell you, and I want you to hear this from me, I don't like to see anybody lose their money that comes with me, and that's not the case now. I'm really upset with those that didn't stay with us. And I'm gonna tell you why I take it personally. But the reality of the fact is if I win, you win. And I don't want to sound selfish, but I don't care what anybody's got to say anymore. I'm just going to win and do it. Because that's who I am. So, go ahead.
Well, that was it for the recap. That means the wild card round is over. We're into the divisional. We got obviously some eliminations, and I hand it over to you.
All right. Texans at Chiefs. -8 went to 8.5. 42 is the total, dropped to 41.5. I agree with that drop. I don't think it's enough. I like the under in every game. I don't know what I'm going to bet, but I like the under in every game. Okay, what date is that? Is that a Saturday?
That is, let me just confirm for the people in the world. But
sometimes you write them down.
That would be Saturday at 4:30.
That's a 4:30. Okay, let's move over to the Commanders at Lions.
That would also be Saturday at 8 o'clock, though. No 1 o'clock this week.
Saturday, 8 o'clock. Okay, Commanders at Lions. Lions opened 8.5. They went to 9.5.
A lot of points.
I never lay 8.5. I never lay 9.5. Even though it's a playoff game, throw the lines out the window. But anything can happen at the 9.5. Okay, but I will give you my opinion. My opinion is I think the Commanders have a better quarterback than the Lions. Goff has been there before and he chokes. I think the coach of the Commanders is as good as it gets, even though the Lions coach is great.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be outright, but I'm not going to tell you to take the 9.5. But and Lions at home, roar. Ferocious.
Unbelievable.
But I am going to say this. The way Donald showed his colors, I think sooner or later Goff is going to too. He's always choked in a big game when he did it with the Rams against the
Patriots.
I mean, you held the Patriots, 13 points? You can't beat them?
Yeah, I believe it was 13.
Okay, so I was very impressed with the young Daniels.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable all year.
Let me tell you something. He doesn't crack. And the whole Commander team is well coached, and they come to play. Listen, I like the Lions to go all the way, but getting past the Commanders, I don't think is going to be easy.
No, I mean, especially with all the injuries that they're still dealing with on defense. Now, they're very well coached. Obviously, we saw that against the Vikings, but it's still, no matter what, at the end of the day, a lot of injuries to deal with. So,
Yeah, but I watched their defense rise to the occasion.
oh, no, they did. Absolutely. But,
Okay, let's go past that. I don't know. I'm up in the air on it, but I do like under 55.5. 9.5 is a lot of points, but nothing is impossible with the Lions at home.
No.
But I think sooner or later Goff is going to crack because he has in the past. That's why I think Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback.
Of course. Okay. You know what's weird? Just looking at this, kind of off topic slightly. Okay, would you believe if I told you like 10 years ago, the Lions would have the most expensive ticket? Just to get into this game, lowest ticket is $423.
This game?
Yeah.
It becomes all corporate. They forget about kids. Especially when you come home, it's really a shame.
But listen to this. The next closest one is $178.
They should make it affordable for children.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
They tried to raise those prices for baseball. They had to drop them. I mean,
No, you can't. You got to save up for 2 years to go to a game now.
Sad.
Try to go to Yankee Stadium, you get a hot dog and a water.
How about a guy that wants to take his kids to the games? He's got 4 kids.
Not possible. Hot dog and a water is $16.
Yeah. That's the problem with the game today. Okay. Sunday's games. Ravens -1.5. An open Bills pick 'em. I don't, and 51.5 is the under and over total. Okay. I don't have to tell you how good the Ravens are, and we really don't have to tell you how good Josh Allen and the Bills have been, especially at home. I was up in the air. I was kind of picking on the game. I like home team underdog all the time. And Bills +1.5 sounds appetizing to me. I don't know if I would bet it. I like the under in that game better.
Yeah.
51.5. The total has not moved. Has it moved?
Nope. Still 51.5. Staring at
Tuesday. Okay, let's go into that. That's for me. But if I had to, and I think Henry and Jamal is as good a combination, and when they're on, it's almost impossible to stop. I don't know how you even tackle Henry.
Yeah, no, that's like I've said before. That is a big man.
Offensive line too slow. Linebackers aren't strong enough.
Safety, I mean, a safety in a
Safety's
corner
not fast enough.
Not even fast enough. They're going to get killed.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's not human.
It's like that State Farm commercial you love so much.
What's that?
That State Farm commercial you love with Derrick Henry in it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Where he's moving the house around.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he doesn't want to be human, nor do I. Okay, Rams-Eagles. Eagles opened up 6.5. Stayed at 6.5 at Eagles. 44.5 is the total, has not moved. I don't know if I like the under on that game. I'm up in the air about it. I got to tell you the truth. Rams made one hell of a showing to me.
Yes, they did.
But I just have to say this. That Detroit showed the Rams what to do against the Vikings, and the Vikings didn't adjust. Eagles a little more complex.
Way better offensive line as well for the Eagles.
Donald did not have a bad offensive line. They just went through it.
Yeah, but that Eagles offensive line is concrete blocks. I mean, that first touchdown the Eagles scored, they had 7 seconds in the pocket to make a pass.
7 seconds, I could throw the ball. No, I'm not tall enough. You could. But I'm just going to tell you this. I like what I saw of the Rams. They played like there was no tomorrow because there wasn't. And they beat a 14-3 team.
Yes, they did. Handedly, too.
Which holds the records for third down conversions, fourth down conversions, over 20-yard passes, and a lot of defensive records. Would you agree?
It was the most wins by a wild card.
But like I said, throw out the season in the playoffs. That's why wise guys don't bet the playoffs, but I do handicap them. And I think I've done pretty well, right?
Obviously, 12 units.
That's this week. What about last week?
Well, that was the first week of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. All right. What about last year? All right. Moving forward. I'm excited I could get you out. Those that stayed with me, I thank you. Stayed with Anthony
Absolutely.
Also. I told you I've never had a losing season, and I'm not going to start now. I just can't guarantee how much we're going to win this season, but we won.
Yeah.
I don't know what my pick is going to be, or if anything, because nothing is jumping out on me.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, for playoffs, it's a lot of big lines. I mean,
they robbed me on teasers, I would have got involved.
Yes, they do.
And they robbed you on the money lines, but when I can get them in and make it to our advantage, I do. I felt very bad being instructional when I was down, but there are no excuses. There are no complaints, just solutions and resolutions. I stayed tight. I didn't second guess. I knew what the trouble was. I corrected it. That's what I suggest to anybody that gambles. And let me tell you, it's still gambling, no matter how good you are. Even a fixed game I seen go down. And trust me, I've seen it. So what I suggest we do is I thank the ones once again that stayed with me and had confidence in me. We're going to come into baseball. This is the important announcement of the day because the juice reel takes whatever they take. I told you it's most of it. I'm going to negotiate to get it down. We've established ourselves with them. And in baseball, we won't be able to broadcast every week, but we'll be here.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll make money because they're all money lines. So 2-team money dogs and a parlay will be preeminent. And you don't have to bet a hell of a lot to make it on the back end. So I like that. And there will be some straight bets. And I like totals. And I like first half totals. And I like first inning stuff in the beginning of the year.
No run first inning. Yeah. My brother's favorite bet.
Well, we'll see what happens. So moving forward, it's not always that. In the beginning of the season, you like the runs in the first inning because they have the pitchers all throw fastballs. So when they connect, they connect. So it depends on what the lineup is, who's pitching and who's hitting. I know a little bit about it. You just know baseball. Let me worry about the betting end. So anyway, long story short, the good news is I'm going to get the juice reel price down. I believe we're going to be here for baseball. I'm going to give it the best shot. It's a longer series, so I'm going to get the price down before baseball. Football was only 18 weeks and then the playoffs, so it wasn't too bad. But baseball's what, 6 months in?
I think the first. I mean, if you want to include the
no, not
the spring training.
No.
Yeah, I mean we're looking March to October.
April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 6 months, like I said. So at that price, even the $25 is a lot. So I'm going to try and get it down so it'll be down for football. But now I have negotiating longevity. I suggest you jump on. Because it's a long season and then streaks are very big in baseball too. The juice reel now allows me to be able to get to you without having a show. Those that want to stay with us when we will be on the show, it will not be every week because it's a long season. There'll be a lot of interviews and some guests coming on, but we will be here intermittently and at least once a month every 2 weeks. But I'm not guaranteeing every week. Those of you who want to sign up for the juice reel for baseball will not start until when?
First game of the season is probably like, I'm guesstimating, probably like March 20.
Guesstimating?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't, yeah.
March 20-something.
Whatever it is in March, we'll probably be here the week before. The juice reel, I'm going to negotiate the price down because now I have negotiating capabilities. And that's where we're going to move forward. We might have to pay it, not every week. It might be once a month, I believe, to get the price down, right? Is that what they told me? Whatever it is, I'm going to do everything I promised I was going to do. Once again, I'm sorry to people that jumped off the juice reel. Those that stayed, I'm happy I could get you out.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Happy and healthy New Year. We'll see you next week. And
happy playoffs.
Bye-bye.